Guys, and welcome back to another video. If you are new, hey girl, my name is Amir. I'm all things beauty and fashion related here on YouTube with a little bit of life content. So today we're doing this beautiful floating half cut crease type situation. So if you want to see how I got this look, then make sure that you keep on watching and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe. Jumping right into the face, I went ahead and I primed with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I am color correcting with some orange concealer from LA Girl, and I'm just placing it wherever I have a little bit of blemish or dark areas. And then I'm going on top with the Elf Toffee, and I am slightly blending that out. I do have a full detail video on my base routine, and I'll link that in the cards as well. If you guys want to see an updated one for like my winter routine for my foundation, then give this video a big thumbs up so I can get that in the works for you guys. So tonight I'm going out, so I'm trying to make sure that my makeup stays a long time. So I'm just going over my T-zone in the areas that I do crease with some translucent powder. This is from Elf, and I'm just lightly tapping over those areas, and I am just brushing it away. It's going to look a little crazy right now, but once I put my foundation on top, then it's going to look good. So the foundation that I'm using is the NARS Natural Radiant foundation in Macau, I believe. If that's not the right name, then I will definitely leave that in the description box below. And I don't like putting my foundation directly on my nose. I just take whatever that's on my brush and I dab it over my nose, so I won't get too oily or it won't move. And yeah, I just find that it works best for my T-zone and my or the other oily areas. I cannot talk today. But anyways, for my eyebrows, I'm using this brow pomade from NYX in Espresso, and then I am carving it out with some concealer. This is Cafe from Maybelline, and I'm just slightly carving it out. I like the straighter edge or straighter tail of my eyebrow, so that's been my go-to. And I don't like to use a lot of product when it comes to my brows, so whatever that's on the brush, I just take it to the top of my brow to finish carving it out and then blending it out with another small dent blending brush. Was jumping a little bit around with my concealer and my highlight because I was in the middle of making a TikTok. But for my concealer and for my highlight, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in Dark Coffee for my contour, and then Cafe for my highlight. And then I also use the NARS Natural Radiant in zero point 0.3, I believe. Once again, it will be in the description box down below with this correct name. And usually I would contour underneath my foundation, and I don't know why I didn't do that this day. But yeah, I just took it on top, and I am just blending it to shape and carve my face. I found out this direction of how I put my concealer on works best to give me that sharp and mature defined face. Now, when it comes to my highlight, I like to, keep it a little bit lighter, but not too light where it's looking crazy. And I also don't go in with a sponge directly after I use a brush, just so the concealer can stick and have more coverage that way. And I also drag whatever that's left on the brush to my lid so it can be a primer for my eyes. And since I did my contour over top my foundation, I'm just going in with a little bit of more foundation just to blend it in a little bit better. To make the under eyes just a little bit brighter, I'm just taking a teeny bit of the NARS Radiant concealer, and I'm placing it directly in the corner of my eye and blending that on top of my eyelid as well, just to, make it pop a little bit more so I can look awake. At the center of my face, I'm taking my Laura Mercier setting powder, and I am dabbing it on first, and I'm pressing it into the skin so it can melt better. And for my contour, I am using my Black Radiance contour palette in medium deep. And I like to do my contour after I press my powders in, just so we can have a better blend to it. So I'm taking the bronzy shade first, just to give it a little bit of more warmth to the face, and then eventually I do go in with the actual contour shade, just to make sure that I hit the hollows of my cheeks a little bit better so it can be a little bit more defined for my liking. And once I get done with powdering my face, I took my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray Mist and I sprayed all over my face, and then I used my foundation brush to press it into my skin so the powders can marinate with each other and it won't look so harsh. Jumping into the eyes, I'm taking my Fierce by Nature palette from Morphe, and I'm taking this brown shade right here. It's a little bit on the plummy brown side, which I kind of do like. It's a little bit deceiving if you're purchasing it for the first time and you're thinking that it's a brown, but I understand the concept now. It's giving that warm smokiness with the browns. So I'm doing this half oval shape, and this is also from Makeup Revolution. It's the Peachy palette, and I'm taking this orange shade and I'm going directly over top of the plummy brown shade, and I go back and forth into both shades just so I can have the right amount of pigment that I am looking for. Now it's going to look a little bit crazy, but you got to remember, you have to trust the process and everything will work out just fine. So then I'm going on top with a lighter orange shade, and that's almost like my transition color, but I'm not applying too much of that because I don't want it to be too orange. So I am taking a clean fluffy brush and I am blending those three colors into each other. Now this part did take me a little bit of time to do because I wanted to make sure that these colors are blending in really well. And to make sure that I have a really defined crease before I cut it, I am taking a black. You can use any black that you have, and I'm just using just a little bit, like the teeniest amount of black, and I'm just placing that at the bottom of that plummy brown shade. And once again, I am blending that out to my liking. Now, once I'm done with blending, I'm taking some micellar water and I'm just cutting my crease. And I kind of messed up on this part, but you'll see that I will fix it later. So make sure that you are taking your time and, making sure that you're placing it the right way, because you don't want to have to start all over again or fix it, as you can see that I'm doing now. And I just used the same concealer that I used before to prep my eyes, and I am using the same colors to my waterline. I'm starting with this wing shadow, and I'm using the natural curve of my eyelid, so I'm looking down towards the mirror and I am brushing the colors upward, and I'm once again lightly placing the oranges on top of each other so it can be nice and blended and very smoky. Now, when I got to this part, I really wanted to just start all over and just do a simple eye, but once again, you have to trust the process and just go with it. So I switched over to a smaller blending brush to help blend these colors out, and this part really took me a long time because it was not blending together and I may have missed a step. So next time I'll know to go in with the lighter shades first and then deepen it with the darker shade. So to get the bright eye that I intentionally wanted, I went in with my NARS concealer and I'm just tapping it in and following the natural curve of my eye, and I am dragging it at the end, but I'm also tapping the concealer in so it can stay put. Now, I will say after you place down your concealer, go in with a clean, fluffy, or packing brush to make sure that the concealer is down and it's put and it's not patchy. Because once you put the other color on top or your shadow on top, you don't want it to skip or you don't want it to be too dull or look too chalky. So after I get done with the concealer part, I'm taking my brush again and I'm just lightly smudging and blending out that light orange color so it can have a nice pretty gradient effect before I put on my final shadow, which is this off-white from the Fierce by Nature palette, and I'm just tapping it on. And I kind of wish I used a different brush, but then again, I kind of like how sharp that this brush got the color to apply. So I was kind of liking it. So after I get done placing and packing that shade on, I am going back in with that lighter orange and I'm blending it upward to make sure that it is a nice pretty gradient effect and making sure that it is as pigmented as I am desiring it to. So I'm not quite sure what happened to the clip of me doing my under eye, but I basically just did what I did on top to the bottom minus the lighter part. And the eyelashes that I'm wearing today is from Lash Link, and this is in the style Cassie. And I just love how these lashes made this eye look so sultry. Okay, I absolutely love it. So the brush that I'm using is from Makeup Revolution. It is from their Roxy palette. And for my lips, I'm taking a brown eyeshadow. All the lip liners that I have, like pencil wise, isn't giving me the right brown or the right darkness or the right tones that I'm looking for. So the shadows are always my go-to or have been my go-to for a minute now, and I absolutely love it. Just make sure that you are blending the lines out so it won't look harsh when you put your lipstick on. Now I started to put on this light nude shadow for the center of my lips, and it was giving powder donut and I just was not feeling it. So I ended up using my Juvia's Place matte lipstick in Lady to go on top. And once again, make sure that you are blending that eyeshadow, that eyeshadow up into your lips, into the lipstick so it can blend really, really nicely. Back of my head, I kind of wanted to just stop at the lipstick part and just go with a matte lip because the eyes are doing, it's giving what the girls are asking for. But I was like, let me see how it will look with a gloss. So at first I started to use my butter gloss, and I believe this is in Caramelt. And I was like, this is cute, but I felt like it was missing something. It was too brown for me. So I went on top with Madeline, and it was just the cherry on top. It pulled the look together. So here we have our finished look. I absolutely love this look. Okay, this is also featured on my Instagram, and the dress details are on my Instagram as well. So make sure that you guys head on over to get the deets on that. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.